Hello everyone and welcome back to the Edain mod. Today we are doing the penultimate guide for the year, the guide for Angmar. Now, one important thing about Angmar that I should note is if you're going to play as them, preferably play on a map where you have lots of settlements to begin with near your base. Whether it's a camp or a castle, doesn't matter, as long as you have access to at least 2 or 3 settlements. Otherwise, you will fall behind. So this is why we've chosen East Affiliate map, because you have 4 settlements in your early vicinity. Now, where they have the lair? It's the south, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's get a Hall of the King's Men and 2 smelters, Helter Smelter. That is always the way I go because I want to have cheaper upgrades in the future. And I never go for the wolves. Wolves or werewolves. It's never really appealed to me. It may appeal to some people, in which case do go for mills if you like them, because that is what you're going to get value out of the most. I just go smelters because it gives me value in the late game where I need more economy. And we're up against lothlorien, I think I already mentioned that. But why against lothlorien in particular? No real reason. I just wanted to go against a faction that I wasn't going to have an instant win against. Because Isengard, for example, on a castle start map, Angmar has a really easy time against, because all they do is spam cavalry and siege in their early game, both of which are easily countered by your wildmen, your hillmen. Your early hillmen just have perfect counters to Isengard early play shenanigans. Compared to other factions, at least. Just because all you've got are pikes as your early units if you go for the hillmen. But again, this is what I'm going for. You can choose to not go for the hillmen. You can go for Gundabad Orcs. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. It's cheaper. But it's not better. That's the only thing. Being cheaper doesn't always mean you're better. And in early game, Angmar, you are kind of incentivized to spend all your money as often as possible on important things. So that is why we're going to get another smelter, and we're going to have a total of 4 economy buildings. 4 economy buildings in the settlements and 4 economy buildings in our base, which is a lot. And we're going to try and go for... I'm going to push for the centre, actually. The troll layer is way more valuable than the ones protected by wargs and goblins. We've got pikes, we might as well use them. Use them before the AI does as well, and then they get the advantage. Make sure our axe throwers are behind. Make sure that troll just charges in and is dead. And now we're going to get a lot of money from this. Make sure there's Thrall Mass. There's also another unit of axe throwers. Another thing about lothlorien, I guess, I wasn't thinking of it when I started this, was that they don't have cavalry, so you don't need anyone to protect your axe throwers. I mean, they do have cavalry, but it's not good cavalry, sadly. It is only... it's a more variant kind of unit. Well, those pikemen just walked in and died. Run away. I'm terrible. Oh my god, I just lost a whole 2 units. Okay, these 2 are going to be Command Group 2. They're being kept away from the front. I panicked so hard at that moment. Okay, we've now got 2 Command Groups. Command Group 1, Command Group 2. Command Group 1 is the units that we actually still have existing. And these 2 are just going to be sat back and repairing themselves for a while. Oh my god, I can't believe I fell for that. Anyway, Dark Iron Forge, and a reason why I gave that little spoiler in the beginning, why we want settlements, is because each of our settlements produces a tribute cart. And the more tribute carts we have, means the more money we make, because once they go into one of our military buildings, they give a sizable increase to our base economy, but they also upgrade our buildings bit by bit. And that is what we want. Okay, they built Mirkwood here very early on. It is not going to get punished because wargs don't do much damage to their buildings. But I'm going to get this settlement anyway before they get anything else from this. And here's our first tribute cart. I'm going to put it into our Dark Iron Forge. Okay, no, let's leave these guys alone. If they're going to attack this place, fine. If they don't, even better. That means they're making money and potentially another tribute cart. Let's get the Frozen Land. Not Frozen Landing, just Frozen Land. And I'm going to place it here as a strategic point for blocking off their movements. There's a second tribute cart. I'm going to put that into the Darkheim Forge as well. I want the Darkheim Forge upgraded as early as possible so I can get the workers' tools and the settlers' tools. They've built Mirkwood down here as well. Okay, I'm going to stop it somewhere. I'm going to stop it somewhere. It's going to be here. Since the wargs are still distracted and dealing with them, although my wargs are my wolves are helping them a bit. Okay, let's destroy this base Mirkwood first. My axe thrower should be trying to kill off their elves. Don't let them build that up. Very good, Drowlin. That is Legolas, though, so that army could die. It just might. If it does, so be it. I'm willing to accept that loss. But I'm going to get a bunch of pantries and start making Black Numenorians soon. I need to make sure this gets destroyed first. Legolas does not mean a thing. His life and death are inconsequential. So long as we destroy Mirkwood. Although we are also killing Legolas, so let's finish the job. Well, I think the Warg did all that damage, but I'm going to take credit for it. It was my hard work. I did all the hard work there. Clearly I did. Okay, they're just sat there. That is fine. Now, once this outpost is destroyed, I want to build it as my own, if possible. But it's not looking like it's going to happen. If we don't, that is also fine.
Fist of Angmar. We've spotted the enemy's Who shall I bring to our banner?
Okay, it's destroyed. So this is our own outpost, and what I'm going to do is... the main reason I'm doing this is so I can get the tribute cart. It's a big tribute cart, this one. It's not like our smaller ones that give us a small bit of health experience to our buildings. This gives a big chunk, and we need that because we're kind of losing our settlements. Just kind of, though. Put it into the garrison tower. Please get in there, my dude. Come on. You can do it. Both of you get into my base and make me that money. Yeah, they're destroying these buildings over here. That is absolutely fine. Because we got what we wanted out of them while we still could. Okay, Thranduil is here, and he is not happy. I have decided to take his home from him. But yeah, we're going to use that to our advantage. Just surround him and swarm him and kill him. Let's build some battle towers here. Very expensive buildings, but in the grand scheme of things, it's going to keep them off this place. It's going to make us big tributes. And we can use that. They have overbuilt an Entmoot, and I am very afraid of that. Those Galafrin, though, are not a problem. That Grimbeorn, however, is. So I'm just going to ignore everything going on here, because they're just slowly dying. As long as no Ents show up, I'm fine. Get these settlers' tools. We've still got a few settlements. Got the two down here, one in the centre. That's quite a few. But yeah, those Beornings have got to go. They do big damage. And that big damage is not welcome here. More tribute carts into the base. More filthy spearmen from the hills, please, my dears. Bring me on down. Galathrim at front. Let's just fall back. And I'm going to build a Barrow-White lair here so I can get Karsh.
I can bring thrall to command.
Yeah, let's let these walk in and die. Make sure that those Beornings that get summoned just get instantly shut down. And there we go, the Barrow-White lair is made. Put the obelisk down here. Yep, they've got Treebeard, that's a problem. That's a problem that I can solve with pikes. I can solve with an overabundance of pikes. But it won't last forever.
I speak with the Witch King's voice.
Now the Barrow-White is dealing with that. Good, good. Okay, for now we're doing fine. Let's see how long that lasts. I'm going to put tribute cards now into the Barrow-White lair so we get to level 3.
I can bring thrall to command.
Yeah, I've been very slowly but surely destroying that. Let's see if I can get away with doing this. Just pushing into here and destroying this Entmoot. Let's see if they'll let me do it. I highly doubt they will, but it's worth trying to find out.
Who shall I bring to our banner?
Yeah, they'll let me do it. They're going to let me do it. Just destroy it, please, as quickly as possible. If you will die, so be it. I do not care. The Entmoot is worth more than all of your lives. You're only hillmen after all. And the more of you that die around in the area gives a boost to everyone else. Don't you know? But yeah, Treebeard just sitting there on his own, that's something I want to deal with in the future. My voice just went, and that's not good. Let's get that, let's get that.
Fighting has begun, or it's the thrall hordes for you. I'll go there now.
Okay, you go into that Barrow-White lair as well. It's already level 3, but you're right there. And it's big money we're making by doing that. Get rid of this Beorning hut as well, while it's still only level 2. And then start pushing back, because yeah, they're not pushing past this. They're not even trying to deal with me. They're trying to destroy the lair here, while my Barrow-White is helping them. Oh dear. Didn't want to see that.
Get ready to build. I sign with Angmar.
Let's get ourselves a Karsh. And get Holdart into the thick of things as well. Okay, they just used the Mist. They haven't used Arrow Volley again yet. I should be very conscious of that.
Our buildings are being attacked.
It won't be long before they do. And look, here we go again. They've got Forged Blades on their units. They're doing that a lot. Oh no, that was just the glow effect from something. I'm not sure. But they did have the Palace Guards of Mirkwood. That's a terrifying unit. Demolish that before they can get some money and experience from it. No, those are Master Blades. They've got Master Blades on their units. Ooh, that is terrifying. But so is Treebeard, and he just got annihilated. They're trying to put another Entmoot. No, no, they cannot. They have been told they are not allowed to do that. See if I can get away with building this tower. Please stop that Entmoot from being built. Please, please, please. Weaken it and kill it. Shoot them down. We've almost got enough for the traitors of... Oh my god, they're just building a second one right next to the first. That is so rude. Oh no. Got all our economy upgrades, that's good. Yes, we are victorious now. Let's keep going. Let's get the Turncoats of Arnor. They're also a good counter to Ents because they're all also pikes. And get lots of experience from killing things like Ents.
We are under attack.
Okay, all is well again. Let's summon some turncoats to deal with those Galafrim. Put them on sword mode so they do more damage, because they're dealing more damage that way to their units. And let's pray they don't remake that into an end move. If they do, if they remake it an end move, I'm gonna have to deal with it. But if they don't, I'm gonna leave it alone. Our turncoats are starting to become permanent, but they are also dying. So let's just have them go in and die. Kill off Legolas. That'll be worth a lot of experience. Well done. And we're also making money from them because they are scavengers. Okay, let's get Dark Iron Blades next. Okay, they built a Malon trait, that's fine, leave it alone. We have no reason to deal with that anymore. We can deal with... They've got no Entmoots on this side of the map. So unless they destroy these buildings again, I have no reason to worry about them. My turncoats got annihilated, but they did, in the meantime, at least stop me from destroying my buildings. I'm happy with that. Have they actually destroyed this yet? No, they have not. Good. Good, I want to keep that. 3,000 in the coffers. We're going to get the last 2 Pantries and Monomorph. So we can get our our Men of Carnium a little bit cheaper. And then we're going to get Helagwyn. I need to remember what this does. Art towers and increase recruitment time of units globally. Okay, good. It's good it specifies globally. That way our Men of Carnium will show up a lot quicker from our base. And they also get an extra 25%. That's 55% recruit speed. That's over half their time taken off just by all of our powers. All of our efforts. Let's now get Helagwyn, another one of our good heroes. All of Angmar's heroes are good, actually. Let me make that statement true. And on the record, all of Angmar's heroes are good or even better than good. Now you should always try to get all of them. Even Waldar, if you're no longer going Wildmen. You're going Men of Carndoom, still get Waldar. Still really good. Still really competent damage dealing hero who can destroy a building just by using his ability. Like, really good. He's a really good hero. You should always go for. Okay, we're starting to push back from the south end. Got a good foothold on the map. But we still need to be conscious of the fact that they can still, at any second, make an Entmoot on our base. And we have to deal with that somehow. Let's not push into their land. Let's make sure we push into our land. That's the way we keep our army alive. But yeah, those are more palace guards. I think this is the first time I've seen them summon more than just one unit of palace guards, and they've done it very early in the game. I say this is confident mid-game, closing in on late game. Okay, let's be very self-aware that Draugling could die if we are not careful. Okay, they've now got silver 4 arrows. I am afraid for my buildings. They are not going to last. That is bad. But we have been spending a lot of time getting all of our heroes, and they're almost all here, except for the Witch King. He's going to be a while. Witch King is always going to be a little bit longer to get because of how expensive he is. But he's worth it if you spend all that time waiting for him.
We will rise up. Our forces are under attack. The enemy's
Yeah, Lothlorien gets strong, but they don't get so strong as to the point where they're at the same strength as Angmar with their full upgrades. Right now we're still just using Wildmen, and we're still just butchering them. Don't even have Carndoom yet.
Get ready to build. Get back to work. You'll be thrown to the wall.
There's the last one.
Push forward.
And I think I'm just going to get Witch King as well. We might as well go full hero. Although saying that there's only one more hero we can't get at the moment that we should get. Oh no, there's 2. There's Gulzar as well. Let's get the Temple of Twilight built up. Not to keep, just to get the hero, because Gulzar is also really good. Can poison units, better against a faction like Mordor, who can't deal with single entities that have a dot effect. Oh, that one That one elf has a silver thorn arrow. Better watch out. That's 4k in the bank. Let's get the Witch King. That's our building, right? Let's not try and destroy our own building. There we go. Well done, Drowlin. You've earned your food for the day. Sadly, a lot of our units are still very small in numbers and haven't had any time to recover because I've been constantly sending them back and forth. So we're just going to sit here for a bit. If they come to me, they'll come to me and I'll kill them. Yeah, I don't have any plans of getting other hillmen right now unless something really bad happens. But as I've already said, there's no way they can get end moots because they've already built Malon trees on all of these. So they have an end moot back there. Why have they not been building ends? Why have I been oblivious to this? Why has no one told me? Oh wait, 'cause I'm not playing live. It's fine, we'll deal with it. We can deal with it. Let's not get Barrow Whites. Barrow Whites are the worst unit to be fighting Mirkwood with, or Lorien, whichever half of the faction is superior. Okay, now we're only one hero away from having our full ensemble, but he's not one I normally get. He's more of a bit of he's just brownie points at that for Zaphagor. I start getting Men of Carndoom. Get rid of them moves. They've not been building anything from it yet, thank God. But let's not put. Those are guys of Karas Gallopon. Those are a dangerous unit that needs to die. Good thing they have low health and are not attacking me. What they did is get glitched in the wall, glitched in Matrix. Whatever it is, I'm very grateful they did. Oh, there's a Galafrin that are hiding in the trees. You want it behind so I can build this into one of my own places. Make it a wolf den. I have no intention of building the wolves from there, but I can use it just to hold it off because it's very good at holding things off. That's another arrow storm on my thralls. They were high enough level and enough of them had died around them that they gained the armor to survive. But I think this is the time I say goodbye to the wildmen, the hillmen even. We've got Men of Carndoom now. We want to go full into this, and we've got so many settlements everywhere. We can afford it. So goodbye, Men of Carndoom. Goodbye to Temple of Twilight. I want another tower. Maybe not another tower actually. Yeah, another tower. I was thinking for a second maybe I get the werewolf den and get werewolves, but I can never get behind building those units. I never can. They are far too weak for how much you have to pay and how much you have to sacrifice to get them. Oh, that's Radagast was attacking my building over there. Okay, he does his thing. You slay, Radagast. You slay. You do your thing. But I'm going to do my thing, and that's going to be killing off all those archers. How long has Radagast got to live? Not much longer. They're attacking that building over there. I can just block that off. Ah, he's coming. I should have helped, just not shown up for another second, and I would have been fine. Come on, I want my turncoats. Come up. Come on, you can tell that's full. Okay. Now we're about to get Zaphagor because we're going to get that. Oh look, they finally decided to... Oh no, they're just glitched. I hope that does not affect my command point limit. It is, oh dear. Yeah, they're not dying, so my command point limit is actually negatively affected because something exists keeping them alive perpetually, I think. Maybe not. If I consider all of their command points altogether, I got 3 units of each. Maybe more now. No, I haven't even got them all yet. Oh no, it's the turncoats. Right, I got the turncoats. But they're not currently permanent. They will die if they're conditions are not met, they don't reach level 2 in a small amount of time, like Command Points will then just drop back down. Which I'm kind of hoping will happen. Because our command points are so good, I'm going to get the Outbreak and get Avalanche. We don't want the Citadel power because it only is valuable when we need units. But we're doing really well for our military strength. Economy and military are two of the hardest things to maintain with Angmar. Heroes, they've got no problem. They've got amazing heroes. I'm just going to throw the Outbreak down on these Galafrim. Anything that joins them in that time is just going to die. That's good for me. Oh, they're sniping me though. Oh, their building just went golden. What? I didn't do that. I'm going to turn it red. I've just got turned golden. I have no idea what did that. Nice Galadriel's on the field. But no, it doesn't make it golden. What made it golden? I'm confused. I'm officially confused. Maybe it's something that AI get that players don't. It has not been. It's not unknown to me that that kind of thing happens. Make another outpost. Can't make any other choice on that. But outposts are good. Those ice arrows are definitely worth it. Just as strong as fire arrows, if not even stronger, because of their cool looking ice effect. But no, they're actually the same in every way as every other archer upgrade. Except these guys do get they get double attack speed if they're. Is it further? I wasn't reading that properly. Getting double attack speed for all further attacks from the same. If they're standing still, the more they shoot, the better. Right. Make sure ghouls are in guardian stance. Make my heroes stealth for a second. Use the oath. Get the Tower of Sorcery. If I can get myself a. I have so many tribute cards. What the hell? Let's watch our economy jump. It was 0 a second ago, by the way. It was as close to 0 as I could make it, and it's just popped over almost over 5,000, and we can't spend anything else on it yet. Oh, breath. You know what? I'm going to build the kennel and 2 mills. I'm building it just for everyone out there that's like, oh, but the wolves are actually really good. I'm humouring you. I'm humouring you to show you how much I have to sacrifice to make this work, to make it worthwhile. Because basic wolves are garbage. The werewolves are not the same as Gorthal's werewolves. They are actually weaker by some considerable amounts. And you firstly need to actually get the building to tier 3 to do that. Yep, you need tier 3, the wolf breeding, which gives you the ability to summon wolf riders for the Thrall Masters, which is a good thing. If you know you're up against someone that has a lot of siege spam potential, Rohan for example, is good. Isengard, it works too, but not so much with Isengard because they have Wild Riders, and they're actually really good against your Wolf Riders, because Wolf Riders suck. But you know, one bit of beef for one thing and one for another. We'll speak about more of that in a future video for some other things. Let's just focus on Angmar. And not compare them to what factions we could have fought against. 7 power points, 3 more away from Avalanche, which will paralyze their base for a short amount of time, but it'll be worth it. And yeah, this building upgrades about the same speed as the Hall of the King's Men, maybe a little bit faster. The King's Men Hall, they did make it harder to upgrade because of how important it is and how good it is. 3 and then 2 set. Now I won't be able to do it. I was thinking getting all the Dark Knights as well, but no, I wouldn't be able to afford it all command point wise. Let's charge and see how much we do. Swordsmen do extra damage against elite and even more damage to heroic units, which, to be fair, is all that the Galafrim are, and the Palace Guards they had, and the Guards of Karas Galathon. They are all units that we get a damage buff from. Black God officers if we're still using Thrall Masters, which we aren't. Let's see if we can actually destroy that citadel. No point destroying any of these because they just rebuild it. They're using Arrow Storm on us, that is absolutely fine. In fact, this should paralyze them. Maybe. I might not be reading it properly, but I'm... Yeah, it did something. It didn't paralyze them, but it did something. It made them icy. Mordor's one level away from destroying a building instantly, which is good. And yeah, we've destroyed all their base. And we've got so much economy now. Tribute carts, if you can get a large amount of them, they just don't. Oh, there we go. Wasn't paying attention, but destroy, I guess, the buildings that make them units, and that means we got victory. How quick was that game? Because that felt really quick. That felt quicker than most of my guides. Nope, it's exactly the same. 30 minutes again. I'm getting really good at that. Doing it in as close to 30 minutes as possible. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, me and lothlorien were both quite equal for a time, but this is when I started pushing back against them really hard. They had nothing else they could do against me. Our resources were constantly dipping up and down because of the tribute carts. And again, they started with near double economy, and then they just had a big amount, and then they spent it all. We didn't see Haldir, Celeborn, or Galadriel that game. That is because they spent so much money on Entmoots. That was one Entmoot. That was another Entmoot. Entmoots. Oh no, that's probably far too soon for all of that. Entmoot. No, these small dips here are Entmoots. So that was an Entmoot. That was an Entmoot. That was an Entmoot. We destroyed all of them. And then they had one more in them. And then I started destroying all their... Oh yeah, destroying that Mirkwood outpost early on. That helped. Because that was one of their big dips. These big dips here were the Mirkwood outpost purchasers. And purchasing Thranduil and Legolas. Just being able to completely body them that early was so good. Getting that outpost as well. Taking the outpost from the enemy had a way of blocking off their hero and just sweeping them. That I think is one good strategy to consider against lothlorien. If they're playing a bit more passively on one side, push that side. And if on the other side, they've got like a large army, don't push against that army. You're not likely to beat them. Especially as Angmar, where all you've got in the early game are pikemen and axe throwers. You've not got it in you. Let them spend their time just sat up there doing nothing. If they're going to sit there do nothing for so long, leave them. Leave them alone to their own devices while you're doing something impactful by winning. That is something that I think some people struggle with. They see a large army like, oh, I've got to throw everything at that large army. But then you lose everything against that large army, and the large army is still pretty big. And then they just push down because they have early powers. Early power cheats really give them the momentum they need to win. Because you saw how quickly they used that arrow storm against me. They had done nothing, and they had that so quickly. That is what happens. Every AI starts with their tier 1 powers really early. They get their tier 2 powers very early. Their tier 3 powers show up about at the start of mid-game, so 15 minutes in. And then the late game powers show up at 30-40 minutes. Or earlier if you're very unlucky and they've actually been gaining them not passively. But that is everything for Angmar. That was the penultimate faction on our list. The last one is the new faction, the Misty Mountains. Now, I've done a lot of stuff with them, and I think I've come up with a way to play as them that is the most efficient. And I'll be going over that next time. But until then, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Farewell.